welcome to Press Preview. I'm Helena Leslie and I'm here with James Beeson and Sarah Gough, the editors of Exeposé. We have a range of topics to discuss, from Syria to guild points and Star Wars. The first topic is Syria. James, Ben Bradshaw came to the university yesterday, meant to talk about the EU and ended up just talking about Syria. What did he discuss?
Yeah, that's right. It was a talk that's been planned by the Guild for a while. Ben was supposed to be coming down to talk about Labour's position, Labour's campaign for Britain to remain in the EU. But after the vote in Parliament on Wednesday, most students didn't really want to talk about the EU, obviously. They wanted to talk about the fact that Ben Bradshaw had voted in favour of the airstrikes in Syria. And there was actually a protest from socialist students as Ben came down into the forum. And then a lot of them then attended the talk. And kind of when it came to the questions part, all that was being discussed really was Syria. And Ben was trying to justify his decision to back these airstrikes by claiming that ISIS obviously is a threat to our country, but a lot of students were still unhappy with him at the end of the talk, despite him trying to justify his decision.
And you also have a piece in Features talking about the airstrikes in Syria.
Yeah, that's right. Theodore Stone, our online features editor, has written a fairly well-balanced article in Features, kind of discussing the pros and cons of military intervention in Syria, and also he talks a little bit about the decision that MPs have had to make. And he said that just because these MPs have voted in favour of the airstrikes, it doesn't make them monsters. It doesn't make them inhuman, which is a fair point, and because they have come under a lot of criticism.
Yes, definitely. And we also have 3 news stories about things that are happening specifically in Exeter, the first one being guild points. Laura Jane Tiley's scheme this year to redeem points when you spend money on campus. There have been some problems with this.
Well, it was Guild President Laura Jane Tiley's big manifesto point, really, to initiate the guild point scheme, and people can go and collect points on their university card and collect them back at the end of the year and maybe get something for free. But we found that over £6,000 worth of guild points haven't been collected, and over, I think it's 54% of students haven't used the scheme at all. And we've run with the main news story on this because obviously there's a lot of points out there that can be redeemed,
and they expire at the end of term.
Yeah, they expire at the end of term. So people need to go and redeem them now.
Have you redeemed yours?
I have enjoyed a free coffee and mince pie, yes.
Well, that's good.
I did enjoy that, but I don't think everyone's been reaping the benefits.
No, I haven't yet. I've got quite a lot of money and need to spend it, so
yeah.
That's not so good. The other news story about Exeter is that Steve Smith has voted in favour of raising university fees if we meet the targets for being a good university.
Yeah, I suppose it's not anything too concrete at this stage, but at an all-student talk last week, Steve said that if the plans in the new Green Paper for Higher Education go through, which will allow better performing universities to charge higher fees to students, he said that he would like to see fees at Exeter rise in line with inflation. And he said that's because of rising staff costs. I think he said there was a 4.7% increase in staff costs last year, and he thinks that we can't carry on going on without inflation. But obviously a lot of students might disagree with this increasing privatisation of the higher education system, and I think that would be a surprise to a lot of people because the talk wasn't very well attended, so perhaps something that not a lot of people know about.
We also have a range of interviews this week, the first one being with Hammond Jr, who is the guitarist from The Strokes. James, you interviewed him about his solo career.
Yeah, that's right. The interview was initially supposed to be focusing on his new solo project. He's just released his 3rd solo album, but obviously I thought the opportunity to chat with him about the future of The Strokes and his relationship with the lead singer Julian Casablancas was possibly a little bit more of interest to students here, but he wasn't too happy about that, but he was a good sport, so.
Is he playing at Exeter anytime in the future?
No, he just played in Bristol actually. He played Bristol last month. Yeah.
That's great. And we also have Derek Frood, who is actually in Exeter this time, at playing Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, Frood's playing Scrooge. And I met with him in coffee number 1. It's a nice little coffee we had. And yeah, he's playing Ebenezer Scrooge in the North Scots Christmas Carol. It's a big deal for the theatre actually because it's the first time they've done an in-house production in a while. And the theatre used to be booming with the repertory theatre quite a while ago. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure really on this production to do well. But Derek's been in Poldark, he's had a lot of theatre practitioner work in the area, and yeah, I think it's set to be a great production.
So when is it going to be on stage?
It opened on Friday, I think, and it's on until January.
Oh, so. Fantastic. The last 2 pieces you have in this week's issue are Science and Tech on Star Wars.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. It's the biggest blockbuster of the year. I'm certainly very excited about it. Obviously, coming out, The Force Awakens comes out, I think 17th of December it comes out. So we've got pieces in screen and in science and tech about Star Wars. So the screen pieces is more kind of an overview of the franchise. Josh Mines did a piece on sort of fan theories surrounding what's going to happen in the new film. And then there's a piece in Science and Tech which features kind of the science behind Star Wars and how realistic some of it is, which is quite an interesting read as well.
Definitely, well, it sounds like we have a fantastic issue, and thank you for talking to me today. And thank you for watching Press Preview. I've been Helena Leslie, and I've been here with James Beeson and Sarah Gough, the editors of Exposé. Go along and pick up a copy on campus or read it online.